Hi there, it's me April and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the 3 things that I learned from my recent travel on a train that is going to prepare me for my air travel with my 15-month-old son. And these are the things that I know will allow me to have a better flight with him because of the things I experienced on our train ride most recently. So if you're not sure how to travel with your infant under the age of 2 and you're scared about putting them on a train, a plane, a taxi cab, I'm going to review with you what worked for me so that you're able to travel with your infant effortlessly and stress-free. So let's get into it. It was my very first time traveling using public transportation with my son. He is 15 months old. He'll be 16 months old next week. So there were some things that I noticed traveling by train that I know that for our flight I'll be able to adapt and use. So the first thing is that when I first got on the train, everything was fine. I was able to set my stuff up. I was able to put my son's things there, and then we were able to get a little bit of settled. But then he had a poopy diaper. And so that really threw me into a tailspin because it's like, oh my God, we had just changed him before we left. He just pooped. And now what am I gonna do? So I had to take him to the bathroom, change his diaper. And because the bathroom wasn't really situated to for families with children to change a diaper, I went into panic mode on how am I going to change him with a poopy diaper. Now parents know if you're out in public, there's a way that you change the diaper if it's just a pee diaper, and then there's a way to change a diaper if it's a boo-boo diaper. Now this also will depend on gender and your kid. I only have a boy, so I don't know the ministry for girl moms, but I know that there have been several times where I've had to change Noah standing up with a pee diaper, but when he has a poo-poo diaper, I just got to get all up in the crevices, you know what I'm saying? So after I figured out how to change Noah in that situation, I became really flustered, and so he became really flustered. And so through that entire experience, the first thing that I learned is that you just have to calm down and also always be pre-planning on how you're going to get out of a situation. So when I went to the bathroom, and again, this was on a train versus an airplane. Airplanes do have the pull down where you're able to change your baby's diaper on top of the sink. But this will also save someone in case you are not able to do that. Let's say you are changing your baby's diaper in the chair while you're on the plane because the bathroom is preoccupied. So I would say the first thing is to remain calm and just really disinfect as much as you can. Try to put the baby on top of the actual toilet seat, so bear most of their weight from their back to their bum on the toilet seat, and then just change and do what you got to do. But remaining calm is going to be your saving grace, because when I was calm, even though Noah was kind of stressed, when I started to calm down, he stopped crying. Now, of course, like I said, when I first went in there, I was panicking because I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to change him? That was crazy. But remaining calm and just thinking of other ways to change him kind of saved me in that moment. Because that was unexpected, it kind of threw off all my energy. And so from there, after we came from the bathroom, we were able to go back to our seat. And I will say that after you have been a little flustered, it takes you a while to calm down. So once you calm down, once I calmed down, then my son Noah was able to calm down. And then we were able to begin the ride. Now, the particular train ride that I took was from DC to New York, which on the local is about 3.5 to 4 hours. And so that's as long as the flight is going to be that we're taking for my birthday trip, which is an international destination. So now we're going to go into phase 2 of what I learned. So even though you can have all these activities for them, I pulled out my cell phone, I tried to have him watch The TV, he is 15 months old. He is at the stage where he is going to jump, where he is going to crawl, and he is not going to sit in the seat. So the best thing that you can do is just find other safe ways of keeping him distracted. There were times where he liked to look out the window. There were times where he would look at the phone. But most of the time, he just wanted to kind of get up and be busy, you know? He always wanted to have something in his hand. So what I also learned is that, you know, just try to keep things nearby, but also direct them to kind of stay in the central area. Now on a train, you're going to have a little bit more space than on a plane. So that's something else to keep in mind too, that he's not going to have as much space on the plane to kind of run around like he did on the train. But what I would do is direct him to stay in the immediate space and try to think of things to redirect his attention. I mean, he's 15 months old. I mean, he's not looking at anything for longer than like 5 seconds. So as long as you're able to kind of direct the baby and coach them to where they need to be and find other things for them to do, like every so often I would give him a snack. Every so often I was giving him something to drink. I was allowing him to climb in the chair. And this is part 2B, is that you're gonna have to give a little bit more grace to things than you normally would. For example, since the goal is to keep them calm and quiet, my son likes pulling out all of the wet wipes from his diaper bag. I would let him take an extra one. All he would really do is pull on it. I mean, bring some extras. You know, I would definitely say give a little bit more grace to the things that they would normally do. So like, don't be too strict where it causes unnecessary drama. But again, I provide enough guidance where it's like, hey, you can't run up and down there because you see there are people coming up and down. Remain calm, keep the same energy, keep the same tone so that they know that you're not like fussing at them. You're just trying to coach them. And for the most part, he would stay in the general area that we were in, which was great. So that was another thing that I learned. I would say the next thing that I learned from my experience is that you don't know when your baby is going to tire out. Noah started to fall asleep within the last 15 minutes of our trip. So I would say that you really want to pre-plan how you're going to get off without waking them up before you get off without waking them up. Now again, on a train, you have a lot more space. You have a little bit more time to kind of execute what you need to do versus on a plane where it's a lot more control. You're not going to have their stroller with them at the time. So what I would recommend doing is saying, all right, you can, every parent knows the sign that their kid is about to clunk out. So I would say if you're traveling by yourself like I did, just start thinking, all right, well, what do I need to pack up now so that when we get to our destination, it's going to be easier for us to get off and go on to our final destination. So what I had to do was I started to wipe down everything that he had touched. He was sleeping on my chest, and so I would just kind of start packing things up because, you know, toddlers, kids, they make a mess. So things he dropped on the floor, I would pick up, I would put back where it was supposed to be. I would make sure that his stroller was lined up with where it needed to be so that I could just put him right in there. I put him in the stroller. I was able to get my bag. I just really started planning on like, we need to move quickly off the train because same thing with the plane, you have a little bit more grace, but you'll need to move quickly off the plane so that you can go to where you need to go to. So just pre-planning who's gonna carry what, when you get off, is going to be your saving grace. I would say the last most important thing is that as the trip went on, I became a lot more confident with being able to keep him calm. You know, confidence really comes from experience. So if you haven't really experienced how to do something, you can watch a bunch of YouTube videos, but unless you really know someone who's experienced that, or you really can like apply it to something you've done, it's really difficult. So I would just say that you're gonna have to experience it, but just really take note and pay attention to little pockets of, they're not bouncing off the wall all the time. So just really notice times when they're resting. that's the time that you want to have them watch something on their phone or play with something. Again, you'll know your child's behavior better than anybody else will. They will scream, they will holler, they will be like, now. You have to remain calm. Most people, when they come on the plane and they see kind of the situation, especially if they're sitting right behind you, they do give you a little bit more grace than, you know, like if it was an adult screaming. So I really wouldn't worry about the external things you can't control. You don't know when your child's gonna scream. You don't know when your child's gonna poop. You don't know when your child's gonna wanna run up and down the aisle. That stuff you can't control. But what you can do is when you see pockets of time that they're like resting, try to preoccupy that time with them. And also just remember that as the trip is going on, you're picking up a lot better on, okay, they are in cycles. So like every 15 minutes he's bouncing off the wall, but then for 5 minutes he's kind of chilling out. Or when I'm able to feed him, he's still, you know, looking around, but he's really calm. And then when he's done, he's bouncing off the wall again. So you'll be able to know like cycles in which your child is active and when they're not active. And then when they eventually clunk out, which is what happened to me at the end, which kind of worked out because then I was able to gather all of our stuff and then meet my husband so that we were able to go off and go to our destination. So I hope this was helpful for you. I have another video about international travel with your kids, and I will put that here so that you can begin the planning stages of how to actually book travel for your child if you are traveling internationally. I also have a free checklist that I will put here as well that's going to allow you just the major things to check off if you're traveling with a child under the age of 2. You know, I don't know about toddlers who are like 4 or 5. That's not my ministry. But if you're traveling with a kid under 2, especially during COVID, this checklist is going to help you make sure that you are getting all of the crucial things that you need checked off for planning any trip with them. So that's it for today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I make videos weekly. Until next time, take care. And I have a playlist that I know you'll be interested in. I'm going to put that here. And I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.